All right, in this video, this is TEAS live session number 6. I recorded this and originally it was around 50 minutes long. I have edited the video to condense it down to just over 27 minutes, 4 examples, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So welcome you all. If this is your first time, I would recommend going back to my YouTube channel and checking out some of the other live sessions. There's a lot of stuff up here and I do discuss this in some of the other live sessions, but I want to make sure in the roughly 30 minutes that I have with you all tonight, I want to make sure that we cover some examples. We got 4 problems we're going to do tonight. We're going to do a perimeter word problem. We're going to look at an inequality. We're going to look at a system of equations, and then we're going to look at a ratio problem. Giveaway. So before we actually dive into the first question, I'm doing a giveaway at the end of tonight's session. I guess before I get started, can y'all hear me okay? I see somebody wrote no sound. All right, fantastic. So first question, here's how the mini sessions that I do with 10 students, we talk on microphones, so it's a little bit better than chatting like we're doing here. But with the mini sessions, I give the students a question. I give them about 1.5 minutes. That's roughly how long you have per question on the math portion of the TEAS. I'm not going to use 1.5 minutes tonight. I'm going to give you a little while to try it out, and then we'll go over it together. So here is the first question. Give it a shot. And at any point, if y'all wanted to, type in an answer, if you were able to work it out, again, I'm not going to use a whole 1.5 minutes here. But this is a common one of many types of geometry problems you can run across. We're given a rectangle and we know some stuff about the length. We know some stuff about the width. We know the perimeter, but the question we're trying to answer is, what is the area of this rectangle? So I'm going to draw a picture. There's my rectangle. It's not drawn to scale. And I'm going to call this my length. And I'm going to call this my width. Now, what do we know about this? It says the length is 6 meters less than twice the width. Twice the width. Okay, so this length, I see twice the width, so I'm going to write 2W, and it's 6 meters less than that. 6 meters less than twice the width means you need to subtract 6 from that. Think about this. If I said, what is 5 less than 20? 5 less than 20 is 15 because you're subtracting 5 from 20. So 6 meters less than twice the width, that is our length. And since we're talking about a W for the width, I'm just going to put a W over here for the width of our rectangle. Now, how is this stuff going to be helpful? Well, if this is 2W minus 6, this side right here is also 2W minus 6. And if this side over here is W, this side right here is W. Now, the reason I'm writing all this junk down is because now we can tie in the perimeter. The perimeter of any shape is simply the distance around that shape. And the perimeter of a rectangle, we're just going to add up all of these sides, all 4 sides. And we know that perimeter is 168. So speed, I want to focus on speed here. When we're finding this perimeter, I'm just going to combine like terms. 2W plus W is 3W plus 2 more W's is 5W plus 1 more W. When we combine all of those W's together, we get 6 W's. Combining like terms. So again, it was 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Now let's combine like terms with these pieces that don't have variables. We have minus 6 and minus 6 more. Minus 6 is minus 12. So 6W minus 12. This is the perimeter. I've added up all my sides and we set this equal to the perimeter of 168. Now let's take this equation here and let's solve for W. That is going to be our width. So to solve this for W, I'm going to add 12 to both sides, solving equations here. And we have 6W is equal to 180. And then if we divide by 6, because we're trying to get W, that's ugly. We're trying to get W by itself. So dividing by 6, we get a width, a W, that is equal to 30. And this is 30 meters, but you don't have to worry about the measurement. So that is our width. Well, what was the question asking? It says, what is the area of the rectangle? Well, we know the width is 30, so this is 30 meters. And what do we know about the length? The length was 6 less than twice the width. Now remember, we just found W. We said W is 30. So if we plug 30 in right there for that W, we're going to take 2 times 30 and then subtract 6 from it. 2 times 30, that's 60. 60 minus 6 gives us 54. So now we have a length and a width of our rectangle, and that's how we find the area. The area equals the length times the width. And if you take 54, multiply it by 30, what do we get there? 1,620 square meters. So that answer is A. Now, some things to talk about. You could see a question like this on the TEAS, but instead of it asking you for the area of the rectangle, it may just say, hey, what is the width? If that's what the question was, if the question simply said, what is the width, we would have stopped at 30. That would have been our answer. Had the question said, what is the length? Well, you would still have to solve for the W, the width, but then we could plug that in to find that length of 54. And what I'm trying to do here is just to get you to see various types of situations that you could have should you run across a problem like this on the TEAS test. So I want to pause there for a second. We're getting ready to move on to number 2. In my opinion, something that's not going to be as long. It's still kind of funky to solve sometimes when you're graphing inequalities. But just looking over at the comments, see if y'all got any questions. That's a good point. So the 6W minus 12 equals 168. I typed in 6x. But 6W minus 12 is 168. This is the, if you want to call it, the formula for the perimeter. It's a good point to make. So number 2, give it a shot. So as you're reading that, I'm just looking back over some questions. Mandy Candy, you said Y12. We had a -6 and another -6. So when you take a -6 minus 6 more, you have to combine those. And what I'm talking about there is where we have this -6 minus 6 here. That's how we get that -12 when we combine like terms. And very common for people to get those two mixed up. I do see where somebody said they wrote 6 minus 2x instead of the 2x minus 6. Very common there. Now, this one here, you have to be careful. Now, somebody did ask about this today, and they took the TEAS sometime this week, I believe, and they did say they had a graphing inequalities problem. So I thought this would be a good one to do, and this is something that people forget to do all the time. Watch this. So we solve it just like an equation. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. That leaves us with negative 2x is greater than or equal to 14. And here's where people mess up. Y'all, you got to be careful here. All right, I'm going to divide by -2. And depending on how long it's been since you've been in high school, I know some people it's been years and years and years, your teacher, or I stress it, whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip the inequality. So we're going to have x, but it's not going to be greater than or equal to. It's going to be less than or equal to. We have to flip here. And that is something you just want to drill in your head. If I'm solving an inequality and I multiply or divide by a negative, I have to flip the inequality. Always, 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 always. And then if we divide here, 14 divided by -2, we get -7. Now, if it didn't have a graph and you just had to write your answer down, that's what the answer is. X is less than or equal to -7. So if we look less than or equal to, I don't care if you have greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, you're going to use closed dots, closed circles on the number. Whereas if I had just a greater than or just a less than, we would use an open circle. So automatically we can eliminate A and B because notice we do have that equal to symbol. We have to pick something with a closed dot. Take note of these numbers like -8, -9, -10, and it keeps on going. All of these numbers that are shaded with this black bold line, all of these numbers that are shaded are less than or equal to -7. Whereas these numbers on the right, these numbers here are not, and they are not shaded. The correct answer here is D. And I want to show you another way that we can look at this as well. Now, y'all, a lot of y'all put C, and I noticed that. So here's what I'm going to do. Now, listen up. This is a way you can kind of check your work. And you probably pick C because maybe you forgot to flip. But if I just pick a number anywhere in this shaded region, I'm going to pick, it doesn't matter, I'm going to pick -2. If I take -2 and I plug it into X right here, so that means we're going to take -2, plugging in a -2, and then we're going to add 5 to it. Well, if we work this out, -2 times -2, that's going to be 4. 4 plus 5, we get 9. If you work all this out, you get 9. Now, this is not a true statement because we're saying that 9 is greater than or equal to 19, and that is not true. None of these numbers, you could pick any number here, and none of those would satisfy this inequality here. However, let's take our correct answer, D. I'm going to pick another random point, but I'm going to pick one that's in this shaded area. For example, -10. If we plug -10 into here, -2 times -10, that's a positive 20. I'm just plugging in some random number now. So -2 times -10, positive 20, plus 5, that gives us 25. And yes, 25 is greater than or equal to 19. So you can kind of, I mean, in all honesty, if you forget about all this flipping junk, if you can kind of get that idea of saying, hey, I can take numbers that are in this shaded region, and if I can plug them into X and it works out, then that might be my answer. Another thing I don't want you to forget is when you have closed circles versus open circles. That allows you to quickly eliminate some answers. So that's number 2, inequalities, graphing inequalities. And this is something that somebody mentioned, like I said earlier, if you're just tuning in, somebody mentioned yesterday or today that they had a test, I think this week, and they had something like this up there. So jot some notes down. And again, folks, just tuning in, we have about 75 in the group right now. I'm going to save all these notes and I will upload them to the group. I'm recording the video right now. I will re-edit that video, make it nice and sweet and short and to the point, and I'll upload that to my YouTube channel sometime soon. So I'm going to go ahead and go to question number 3. I'm trying to follow most of the questions. Sorry if I missed some of them. But let's go ahead and jump on to number 3. Word problem involving a system of equations. Read that over. So a food truck charges $8.59 for 2 hot dogs and 3 orders of fries. So watch what I'm going to go ahead and do. With this very first sentence, I'm going to say 2 hot dogs plus 3 orders of French fries is going to be equal to $8.59. Let's read the second sentence. On the same food truck, we have 3 hot dogs and 2 orders of fries. So 3 hot dogs, 2 orders of fries. This is going to be $9.96. This is called a system of equations. System of equations. I have several videos on this. This is just one of various types of problems you can run across. So the question says, how much does 1 hot dog and 1 order of fries cost? So 1 hot dog and 1 order of fries is what we're trying to figure out. What we have to do here, there's various ways to solve a system of equations. One way is called the elimination method, and it's probably my go-to method. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply this top equation. I'm going to multiply it by a -3. Now you might say, well, why am I multiplying by -3? Well, just hang tight. And this is totally fine as long as we multiply this side by -3 as well. So let's multiply. Multiplying by -3, we're going to get what here? -6h minus 9f. I'm multiplying by -3. And this is going to give me, what? $8.59 times a -3. 8.59 times -3. That's -25.77. So you might say, okay, why did I do -3? Now, I would encourage y'all to check out my systems. I actually have a whole playlist on systems of equations. I would encourage you to watch that playlist, but watch what I'm going to do with this next equation. I'm going to multiply everything down here. I'm going to multiply it by 2. And you could pick different numbers now. I do see Heidi, she commented about multiplying by -2. There's definitely more than one way to do these types of questions. So multiplying both of these by 2, watch what happens. 2 times 3h is 6h. 2 times 2f is 4f. And then if we double the 9.96, 19.92. Now I know some of you are saying, why -3, why 2? Look at this. I didn't have to do -3. I didn't have to do 2. There's so many other numbers you can pick. But what I want y'all to notice, by me multiplying by -3 right here, and by me multiplying by 2, look at our h's over here. Check out our h's right here. They cancel out. They get eliminated. This is called the elimination method. So -6h, and how did I get -6h? I multiply by -3. How did I get this positive 6h? I multiply by 2. They get eliminated. Again, there's other ways you could have multiplied that, but that's the way that I picked. Let's combine like terms. -9 French fries plus 4 French fries is a -5f, combining like terms. And then let's work this out as well. -25.77 plus 19.92, because this is understood to be a positive since we don't have a negative in front of it. So I'm adding that to -25.77, and this gives me -5.85. So now what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by -5. And this will tell us how much one order of French fries costs. So dividing that, we get $1.17. That is the price for one order of French fries. Now the question says, how much does one hot dog and one order of fries cost? Now we'll come back and answer the question. But folks, if this is the first time you've seen system of equations, or if it's been, a number of years, don't expect to get this on the first shot. I mean, that's not how math works. With these types of problems like this, you have to practice. I mean, you really do, folks. That's why I do have several videos on this topic. What I'll do when I finish this problem, I'll show you how to quickly find those problems on my website as well as on my YouTube channel. So we got French fries. We got to figure out how much does a hot dog cost. Let's go back to either one of these equations. 2h plus 3f equals 8.59. So I'm going to go do 2h plus 3f equals 8.59. So these are our French fries. Let's take the $1.17 and let's plug it into here. So we have 2h plus 3 French fries times $1.17 each. And this will allow us to solve for h, the price of one hot dog. All right, so we have 2h. So if one order of fries costs $1.17, if we have 3 orders of fries, we're going to take 3 times $1.17. Just like if you go to McDonald's and you get 3 hamburgers, you're going to take 3 times the price of one hamburger. Same idea. So that's going to be 3.51, and this is equal to 8.59. Let's get h by itself. So subtracting the $3.51 from both sides. And we get 2h is equal to, okay, will this subtract nicely? We're going to get, 508. And that's exactly right. I'm seeing what Pamela said. Once you find one variable, plug that sucker back in and find that other one. That's exactly right. And now let's divide by 2 to figure out the price of one hot dog. So 5.08 divided by 2, we get $2.54. Not your typical 99-cent hot dog at a gas station. So finally, we can answer the question, how much does one hot dog and one order of fries cost? Well, let's add these together. $1.17 plus the 2.54. If you wanted just one order of fries and one hot dog, that would be $3.71. That answer is C. So if you do have a system of equations, it does take a little bit of time. And that's where really I would highly encourage y'all to check out I said I was going to show that to y'all. So let's go ahead and talk about that right now. 2 places you can find my videos quickly. I'm going to show you both of them. So if you go directly to my YouTube channel, now some of y'all have seen this before, but I want y'all to pay attention to this. If you go to my YouTube channel, don't search up here. This searches everything on YouTube. If you go directly to my channel and you click on this magnifying glass, watch what happens. I'm not going to type in the whole thing. I'm just going to type in system because it was called system of equations, right? So I'm going to press enter on that and look at what pops up. System of equations word problem. System of equations, system of equations, system of equations. I have quite a few videos on this, so feel free, go check it out. Now, I do see somebody mentioning the substitution method. Yes, it will give you the same answer. And like I said, there's more than one way to do these types of problems. I went with elimination, but sure, I cover the substitution method as well. Something else I want y'all to take note of is this. If you go over to my website, bcraftmath.com/ATITs, I'm on a MacBook Pro. I'm going to hold the Command key on my keyboard and I'm going to tap F, Command F. If you're on a Windows computer, you will hold Control and tap F. Think F as the word find. And I don't know if y'all noticed that, but when I did Command F, it pops up a little search bar up here. So I'm going to type in system again. And folks, as I do that, this will allow me to go through my entire website, over 100 videos. You can look for keywords. Somebody earlier asked about polynomial. I do have one video, and look at that. I typed in polynomial. So right there, if you type in the word polynomial, there it is. And somebody did ask me to do an example tonight with this particular problem. I just don't have time to. But there's that multiplying polynomials video. Check it out because I know this is popping up on the TEAS. Some people have said they've seen the FOIL method. So 2 places you can search using Command F or Control F to search through my website. I mean, look how many times the word equation pops up, folks. Equation. 21 times. And you can use those arrows to cycle through it. That's the best way to find topics that you need help with, in my opinion. Go directly to my website, search on them. And by the way, all of these are links to my YouTube video. So I hope you find that helpful. All right, fantastic. So now y'all, last one here, ratios word problem. I bet this is going to get some of you. So check this out. Number 4, be careful. The ratio of boys to girls in a class is 3-4. Now, what this means, boys, 3, girls, 4. What this means, this ratio 3-4, that means there's going to be 3 boys for every 4 girls. Now, if there are a total of 56 students in this class, how many girls are there? And I'm seeing different answers. I'm seeing B, C, and D. So y'all, you got to be careful. Now, let me show you a crazy way real quick. Let me show you a crazy way. Right here, 3 boys for every 4 girls. That's 7 students in all, right? That's 7 students. So what I'm going to do, we said there's 56 people. So watch what I'm going to do here. There's 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, and 56. This is a crazy way, but I just want y'all to see. What I've done here is I've taken that 3-4 ratio, 3 boys for every 4 girls, and that's only 7 students here. So I really had to multiply this by 8 to get a total of 56 students in all. And now you can count the G's if you want to. I'm going to show you a better way, but I just want y'all to see it visually. I think this kind of helps maybe tie up some loose ends when it comes to comprehending ratios. But if you look here, there's 4 girls on each one of these. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. B is the correct answer. Now, I do want to show you a much better way of approaching this. Since this ratio here, 3 boys for every 4 girls, we can create this fraction from that. Now watch what I'm going to do here. 4 girls out of every 7 students. So now this ratio here that I'm creating is the number of girls compared to the total number of students. I'm not doing girls to boys. Now you might say, well, why did I do this? Because I'm trying to figure out how many girls there are out of a total number of 56 students. So I can solve for girls. We'll put that up top because I have girls on top over here. And then I'm going to put my total number of students, 56. I'm going to put that at the bottom to match up. And now you have a proportion. Cross multiply and divide. This is something you want to do super fast. So I'm going to take the 4 times the 56, and then I'm going to immediately divide by 7, and bam, there's our 32. So the visual way, I'm seeing some of y'all said it does help. Yes, it's just that can be time consuming. So that's why I did want to show you this proportion approach as well. That's like the fast way. But you got to understand how I'm creating that 4 girls out of 7 students. And again, I got that 7 because for every 3 boys, there are 4 girls. That gives us a total of 7 there. That's the 4 questions for tonight. Let's do the giveaway. And here we go. So whoever wins, you get a copy of my workbook. You get a copy of my multiple choice math review. If you already have the workbook or the multiple choice math review, we'll figure something else out. But yeah, so here we go. All right, so Arlene Rodriguez. But yeah, folks, that's it. I'm getting ready to save these notes. I'm going to upload them to the group. And y'all take care. I will edit this video and I will have this video back up on YouTube as well as in this group probably tomorrow sometime. So y'all take care. Happy New Year again. And thanks for being a member, folks. I really enjoy doing these. So y'all take care. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.